Hey everyone, I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you've had a wonderful week. For those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, welcome back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. And for those of you who are brand new to Mental Health Moment, it's Dr. Hammond here. We are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. So welcome, welcome. For those of you who are watching the replay on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube, be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe to the page. So welcome, welcome, you guys. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from today. I reside in the Tampa Bay area, Florida, for those of you who are new, but today I'm in Houston, Texas, with family here as we're rapidly getting ready to celebrate Thanksgiving, which is crazy that this year has just flown by like that, I feel like. So again, let me know in the comments where you may be tuning in from today. Hopefully I can see the comments because as you all know, technology is going to do what technology wants to do. So usually, well, not usually, it just depends on the day. Sometimes the comments come in a little bit later, but I love to shout you all out when you all tell me where you're tuning in from in the comments. But for those of you who are brand new to Mental Health Moment is all about how do you work on becoming the best version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for the people around you. So we've been here live for years. I don't even know how many years. I want to say next year is around 10 years or so. I think it has to be around 10 years next year. So, which is insane. We'll have to do some kind of, some kind of celebration for that for sure. For Mental Health Moment. But before we get started today, quick announcement. I know I've been saying I have an announcement for the last couple of weeks, and I really do have an announcement, but we're just, my team and I are just finalizing the last little bit of details on it. So next week, I will have the full announcement of what I've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, but super excited to share that with you all. Excuse me. It is almost ready to be announced. So I'll definitely be sharing that news with you next week. And what else did I need to? Okay, there's actually 2 announcements for the month of December, but the first announcement I will share with you next week. And I think the week after that, I'll be sharing another announcement. But again, thanks for those who are joining here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Let me know where you're tuning in from in the chat. Hopefully I'll be able to see the chat at some point during this live. If the technology wants to work with me today. But yeah, for those of you who are celebrating Thanksgiving, happy early Thanksgiving. It's the day after tomorrow, which is crazy, or depending on where you're at depending on where you're at right now. It's this week though, for sure. Houston's in the house. Hey, thanks for joining. But now I can finally start seeing the comments here come in. New Iberia's in the house. Welcome, welcome. I love sorry. Oh, I love when people join that are in the same household as me right now when families tuning in. That's awesome. Okay, so today's mental health moment. So today I wanted to talk to you all about how do you think about when you're in a rush, right? Like things are going crazy sometimes, like the holidays, for example, or Thanksgiving, if you celebrate that, or whatever holiday you may or may not celebrate. This is just more of a hectic time of year. So I'm going to give you 3 tips today of how to think about just sort of resetting yourself, right? Because it's very easy to get caught up in holiday chaos. It is very easy to do that. But instead, I'm really hopeful that you will take the time for you. And I know it's hard when I say that because we're all so busy this time of year with friends or family members or cooking or whatever it is you're doing, or a combination of those things. So it's really easy for us to not be paying attention, right, to ourselves. But I'm going to give you 3 easy tips, hopefully, of how you can think about still making sure that you're maintaining your own calm and peace of mind through this time. So the first thing, and it's one of my favorite things, and Okay, I can't say it. I want to share so bad, but I can't share it yet because it's not finalized. But it ties. I'll just say it ties into one of my announcements in the next couple weeks. But the first thing, and I've been preaching this for many years, but I want to remind you, especially as we wind down this year, is to think about a 60-second reset. Okay, so 60 seconds, you all. I know we're all busy, but we all have a minute out of our day. So when you're at, let's say you celebrate Thanksgiving, which is coming up here, and you're stressed out and you're overwhelmed or something's going on or whatever is the case, you can no one is going to blink if you remove yourself from a situation for 60 seconds. If you need to reset, as in like take some deep breaths, if you need to pause, right, your mind, if you need to just be in a state of stillness for 60 seconds, right? Like those things matter, right? Like those 60 seconds of the reset recharge, you are telling your brain and training your brain to say, you know what? I am fill in the blank. I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling overwhelmed, maybe I'm frustrated, maybe I'm angry, maybe I'm sad, like whatever it is, like we all have all these different emotions. Again, especially through chaos, especially through hectic, busy times, which tend to be the holidays. Excuse me. So taking yourself away from those said situations, giving yourself the intentional 60-second, I call it take a minute, the 60-second reset is going to be really important. This, and not just for the holidays, you all, but I'm talking obviously holidays today because we're about to well, for some of us, we're about to celebrate Thanksgiving. But not just for the holidays, like this hopefully should be a practice that you're doing on a minimum of a daily basis. This is something I started, I don't even know, many years ago, when I used to tell myself a story, which is not true. For those of you who read my book, you know, that I didn't have time, right? I didn't have time. I was so busy and all these things. Like these things are not true. We always have time to take care of ourselves. It's just that no, we may not have hours and hours and hours to take care of ourselves on a daily basis, which is okay. But we always have time. We should always make time, I should say, to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. So the 60-second to take a minute reset, that counts too, right? It counts too. Um, so, so yeah, so let me know where you're tuning in from. Yep. Retrain your brain, 60-second reset. Absolutely. So let me know again where you're tuning in from in the chat today. And again, for those of you who are just starting to tune in here, Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. We are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. So the first thing, again, if you're just tuning in late, our 3 tips for today, the first thing is to think about taking a minute, right? Taking the 60-second pause, taking a reset, especially, again, with rushed timelines. Sometimes, not sometimes, oftentimes there's timelines that people place on our lives that it's sort of like other people's emergencies. It's funny, my receptionist always says, she's like, other people's emergencies are not necessarily urgent for us. It's people just putting certain deadlines on you or putting different tasks on you. And you're like, wait a minute, is this really an emergency for me? Right? Or is it something that happened? Maybe someone didn't plan accordingly, or maybe someone has their own anxiety about a certain situation and now it's sort of placed on you. So again, especially this time of year, the last couple months, or last what 2 months here, finishing out the last 2 months of the year, it's really important again for you to be thinking about, how do I reset, how do I recharge, right? And one of the ways to do that is through taking a 60-second, taking a minute, intentional time for yourself. Queens, New York is in the house. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. The second thing to think about, so also what tends to happen, well, a couple things tends to happen, right, at the end of the year, is not only with the holidays, but I don't know about you all, but depending on maybe the type of work you do or just stuff you have going on in your life, the end of the year tends to be this like, oh my goodness, I have to get something done by the end of the year, right? So you might be like, there's this goal, whatever it was that I need to finish, or there's this task, or your to-do list suddenly becomes a lot longer, or if maybe you celebrate Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas or whatever it is that you celebrate, like now you have other things you have to do. Maybe it's buying gifts or food for a dinner or whatever it is. Like there's just more things that tend to get added on towards the end of the year, right? So as that's happening, it can be really, really overwhelming if you sort of look too much at the big picture. But if you take a step back and you think about focusing on one thing at a time, that is another way for you to think about reducing your anxiety, right? Because it's really easy, you all, for us to get overwhelmed. If you looked at sometimes your to-do list and you're like, oh my God, I have 20 things that I have to do. Like, how is this ever going to get done? It's really overwhelming. But if you think about just really thinking about one thing at a time, reminding yourself, if that's your personality, reminding yourself like, I will get this done. These things are going to get done. I'm going to be okay, right? I'm safe, but you're going to focus on doing one thing at a time, right? So it really helps to reduce your anxiety. I know sometimes for me, um, when I'm at the gym, we have these really long workouts sometimes, and they call them chippers because what happens is we look at this. Anyhow, let's say it's I do like an intense workout, and there's 40 minutes, which is really long, and we're all like, "Are you serious? Like 40 minutes?" And we're looking at all the exercises, and there's this long list. There might be 10 or 11 things, and it's overwhelming to look at. But then what's interesting is we have our coaches around us that are like, you all just focus on one thing at a time. Like it might be push-ups, which I hate push-ups, side note, hate them. But it might be, like just get through the push-ups. Okay, the next thing you're on the bike, or the next thing you're on this exercise, or whatever it is. But it's interesting because it has helped us through the class to, again, not be so overwhelmed of all the things, right, we have to do for our exercise. But again, thinking about like just get to the next part. And literally that's what I do, you all. I'm not gonna lie. Because there's certain things that I just don't feel like doing. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm a gym girl. I'm in the gym. However, there's certain things that I really, really hate doing, like riding a bike, like push-ups. But what I tell myself, because again, it's all about training your mind. That's what we always talk about in mental health moment. But what I tell myself, I'm like, okay, let me just get past this part, right? Like get through that part. Okay, now it's an exercise that I actually like. Or let's go to the next part. Or like, oh, I'm on the countdown. I only have this much left to do. Like those sorts of thoughts, right? And then you can get through. And it's not just with exercise, though, it's with many, many things that we tend to do in our lives, is that we have to really just focus on one thing at a time. So again, yep, bite size instead of king size. Yes. So again, instead of looking at like, oh my God, I have all these things to do, even like for some of you, again, with Thanksgiving come up, you might be like, I still got to buy my turkey, right? It's like 2 days from now is Thanksgiving, right? Maybe you're overwhelmed because you just have stuff to be doing, right? Maybe I don't know, your kids or your grandkids are like, there's just so much going on and it's overwhelming. Maybe you're trying to entertain, or maybe you're trying to go over to a friend's house, or maybe you're going to do a solo thing. Like all is good either way. The major thing though for you, again, as I mentioned, is making sure to take care of yourself, especially during these times, because while holidays can be a joyous time for us, yay, it's also a very stressful time for many of us. And with stress comes increased heart rates, increased blood pressure, like all these things tend to happen to us. However, we can work on, right, staying as calm as we can to get through these times. Harrisonburg, Virginia's in the house. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. If you guys are just now tuning in, I'm about to go into my third tip, but we're talking about a couple of tips today on how to get through the hectic holiday season that we're right currently in, especially when you feel rushed, right? Like there's just things that are happening. You could feel very overwhelmed, which is normal. But how do you really get through that and make sure you're taking care of yourself, because that's important, right? That's what we preach on mental health moment for those of you who are new. And the third tip, final tip, and the third tip of the day is to really think about, this is my favorite thing, by the way. So I do a lot of my research is on self-care, which is why I write all my books lately on mindset training and self-care. But one of my favorite things that I'm seeing out of the research is what's called micro breaks, right? And just having these micro moments, meaning you don't have to think about your self-care. Like we tend to think about our self-care as like we need a whole weekend away, right? Like to recover and which don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with a weekend trip. I'm not sad about it. Or like a long vacation, nothing wrong with that. Please take your vacations, weekend trips, day trips, mental health days, all the things. Those are great things to have. However, you don't have to only be doing that in order to practice your self-care. And you might be in a space for whatever reason that you're like, I don't have a free weekend to, go take a vacation for whatever reason, right? So it's not only about that. More so, what's even more important is how frequent you're taking care of yourself, right? So it's sort of like, let's say, I don't know why I'm thinking about exercise so much today, but let's say you were like, okay, I'm going to spend a whole weekend once a year. Imagine that. It's a silly example. But if you're like, I'm going to spend a whole weekend one time a year and do some intense exercise, and that's it, I'm good. And it's like, we know that's crazy, right? Out of like the whole entire year, no, you're not going to help yourself physically if you spent one intense weekend working out. No, it's better to have frequent, whatever it is, whether it's walks, whether it's running, swimming, biking, hiking, whatever you like to do, yoga, whatever it is, some form of movement for you as frequently as you can, right? Versus like one thing. But when it comes to our mental health, sometimes we think that's okay. Like we're like, okay, yep, I took my couple days off this year. I'm good. And it's like, no, we need to work on how frequently you're taking care of yourself, the self-care, right? So, so again, the research is showing more what's called micro breaks, meaning what I talked about earlier, the taking a minute, right? Or taking the 5 minutes or taking the 10 minutes. There's so many apps, you all, right now, like I could name a gazillion, but there's so many apps even, right? Like think of the Calm app, or there was one called Insight Timer, like different things where you could take like 5 minutes of meditation. That counts, right? So again, as you think about these upcoming holidays, make sure you're taking your micro moments for you. Be intentional about this. Don't, I know this is so hard. I'm going to ask you to do something, and this is a hard thing to do, but work on your language, work on the things you're telling yourself. If you're still caught up, which is not uncommon, but if you're still caught up in saying, I don't have time for myself, um, I would strongly encourage you and challenge you to work on stop saying that to yourself, because, well, first of all, it's not true. You do have time. Again, you may not have days and days and time at a time every week, but you do have time for you. So work on instead telling yourself, you can tell yourself things like, okay, I deserve, because you do, I deserve to take a minute for myself today. I deserve to take 5 minutes for myself, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever amount of time you have for you, and being intentional, right, with your self care. South Carolina's in the house. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. But again, if it's drinking a cup of tea, if it's drinking water, if it's stretching, if it's walking, if it's spending time in nature, I love doing that. Like whatever it is that you love to do, that is reasonable, right, and feasible in a 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute time frame. Those micro moments. Make sure that you're practicing that, especially as we head into the busy, hectic end of the year stuff, the seasons, right? So that's my third tip for you all. Third and final tip for you all. Yep, micromoms honor you by pouring self-care into you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, it's such a mindset shift, you all. But it is a powerful, very powerful mindset shift when you understand that you do have the time for self-care, that the micro moments, the micro breaks that you take throughout your day, they really do matter. There's research on it as well. So if you're going through your entire day stressed out, overwhelmed, about to hit burnout, and you've taken no breaks, like not even to like get up out of your seat, walk around for a bit or stretch, water break, some type of break like that, that's not good, right? For your mental health and your sanity. But when you think about how am I incorporating these breaks, and for some of you, and it's okay, and it's okay. If you're not, if we're all at different levels in our self care journey, but if you're not at all in a place, because I remember them days for me. But if you're not at all in a place where you're thinking about self care, because whatever reason, you may think it's selfish, which it's not. You may think you don't have time, or you may think you don't have money, or you may not. You may be in a place of just not feeling worthy, or whatever it is that's going on for you. You can start by setting your cell phone alarm, right? Like set a reminder or some type of reminder. If it's post-it notes, old school post-it notes, putting it on a mirror, setting your cell phone, whatever it is, but that time period of the day you set aside for you, right? And that, like I said, a minimum of a minute. If you could do 5, 10, 15, great, but a minimum of a minute, because all of us have a minute. So So I encourage you again, take those micro breaks, take the time for you, be intentional. You'd be so surprised after a while what it does. Well, physically, what it can do for you too. Like just really to take the pause. Your brain and your body need a break. I promise you that it really does. We are constantly on overdrive. There's all these demands that are thrown at us from life. Life is lifing sometimes, right? Like just things happen and we just it's like we're robots. Like we just go right through, right? And don't take any breaks. And it's like, no, right? We have to take care of ourselves. So again, wherever you're at in this journey, maybe for some of you, you're already you're already doing the thing. You're like, you know what? Life's good. Like I'm doing my self-care, taking care of me, which is awesome. Then you need to celebrate yourself more for that, right? Because it can be hard too. And I also find that a lot of us we just don't give ourselves credit. Like because you know what it is? We do things for ourselves or we take care of ourselves a little bit and then we're just like, oh, it's not enough. Like it's not enough, right? And it's like, well, hold up. Like let's give yourself some credit like for what you are doing to take care of you. Like if you're in a space where you used to not and you are, but you feel like it's a little bit, but you could do more, then you celebrate where you're at on your journey. And yes, still work towards spending more time and self-care, taking care of yourself more, whether there's things we've talked at length on mental health moment about a gazillion things that you could do for yourself. But sometimes again, a little PSA here, sometimes again, it's just not enough. And you may need to reach out to a mental health professional, which is okay. Like it's okay to take that step. You may need to reach out to a friend, family member, a coworker, someone you trust, love, adore, someone that has your back. Like, right. So you maybe you have to do this with someone, like with their help to get through, all good. A therapist, coach, whomever, all good, or it's a solo thing for you. Either way, you do what works best for you. Good evening from San Francisco. Welcome back. San Francisco, I'll be there. When will I be there? I'll be there soon. Yeah. That's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, I'll be there soon. Awesome, awesome. Thanks for joining. Someone said I agree. Awesome. Someone here is from, I think it says Tippett, Asia. Welcome. All right, from the other side of the world. So awesome. So this is like, what is it? It's morning. Yeah, it's morning there for you. So awesome. Good morning to you. Your side of the world. But again, so I want you to remember that as I wrap up here on today's mental health moment, I really want you to remember again that this is a real like this is a really major mindset shift to get into a space where you're like, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be emotionally healthy. I deserve to have holistic, I always teach you all holistic self-care. Like it's such a major mental shift to do that. But when you get to that space, it's a really beautiful space to live in. And you work on becoming the better version of yourself. And guess what? It helps you and it's going to help everyone else around you too. Like trust and believe the people around you, they want to see the best version of you, right? They do, right? Your friends, your family members, coworkers, or whomever it is around you, they want to see the best version of you. And it's for you, and it also benefits other people around you when this happens. Hi from Maryland. Welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. All right, so I'm wrapping up. You all. So if you ever miss a mental health moment, you can always go to Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube page. You can always catch the replays on there. Be sure, like I said, to subscribe to the page. You can like the video, share the video to whomever you want. And if you need me before next Tuesday, you can always reach out, drnikishahammond.com, or follow me on Dr. Nikisha Hammond, all social media platforms. Oh, that's something I can't announce, actually. Okay, what I can announce, so there's a couple things I can't yet, but I will starting next week. But what I can announce is I'm actually going to start, wait a minute, but I'm going to start my TikTok page. So I'll be on TikTok for those of you who are on TikTok. Yeah, starting next month. So I'll be on TikTok. So right now I'm on a lot of the other platforms, Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, X, and I'll also be on TikTok starting next month. So, and I'll still be at Dr. Nikisha Hammond. So be sure to follow me. I'm always posting mental health and wellness content on there, trying to keep us all uplifted, right? And inspired to get through all the things that life likes to just throw at us all of a sudden. But yeah, be well. So again, someone said, are you taking patients? So I'm in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. If you are in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, you can go to hammondpsychology.com. We're actually, our practice is actually in the process of hiring new therapists right now. So yes, we will be taking new patients soon. And yeah, hammondpsychology.com if you're again in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. So thanks for asking about that. And yeah, so if you need me again, drnikishahammond.com or connect on social. And I will be back. Have an amazing Thanksgiving, by the way, for those of you who celebrate. Have an amazing Thanksgiving. And yeah, I'll be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Be blessed. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.